Hi, and welcome back to Nonstop Naples. I am your hostess, Belfair Graves, and I am so happy to be here with you today on this beautiful, sunny Southwest Florida day in Naples, Florida. For those of you who follow us regularly, you may have seen a few weeks back we posted about a local nonprofit in Southwest Florida called Ocean Habitats and discussed a little about their mini reef system. Well, for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm super excited to introduce to you this amazing system that helps filter the water and provide a little man-made environment for our aquatic environment. It's one of the coolest ways you can get involved and give back and help restore and protect some of this aquatic environment we are so lucky to call home in Southwest Florida. With a great passion for marine life, Ocean Habitats and David Wolf developed an artificial habitat system called the Mini Reef. Mini reefs foster micro ecosystems. Now, the micro ecosystem mimics the environment found in the prop root system of mangroves. Now, whether you're from here or not, you've seen our mangroves. They're all over the bays, all over the seawalls. They're beautiful, and that's obviously not man-made, a system for this aquatic environment. Well, these mini reefs provide a home for the aquatic environment for this life to thrive. And as that life thrives and grows, it filters and cleans our water up to an average of 30,000 gallons a day. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh my God, that's amazing. You want to know more about it. How do you get involved? It's pretty much the greatest thing you've heard since, I don't know, sliced bread. Well, you're really lucky because today we have the fortune of being here with the man behind the curtain himself at Ocean Habitat, David Wolf.
Hi there.
Hi, David. Thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for inviting me.
David's going to give you a little history about how this whole thing got started, a little bit more about the mini reef system, and how you can get involved too. So take us back to, I think, Sanibel Island was where it comes to mind for me to start.
Yeah, I was a freshman in college, and I had someone come and speak to our class about ocean ranching work they were doing, trying to grow stone crabs and spiny lobsters. And I thought it was really cool. I needed volunteer work to do for school, so I volunteered out in Sanibel to start working on kind of the precursor of this, and kind of fell in love with what was going on. It went from me having an elective in biology to switching majors, and going for marine biology as a major. So kind of really enjoy what I got involved with.
And then I think at one point you had said to me, the beginning was sort of a lot of many failures that led to this one amazing,
right?
Perfection.
We had hundreds of materials, over 100 models that we tested. Wow. Some failed miserably right away for various reasons. Some looked great for a while, and then we realized long term they weren't going to work. They were going to be doing very little positive, benefit to the area. So. A lot of trial and error, a lot of frustration, a lot of running out of money because we were nonprofit. Mike that ran things, I think, was pulling his hair out constantly, trying to figure out how to get these things to work. So, it was a long process.
And how to get people involved and to get back with the nonprofit, I think is always
right.
An issue. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was I read on your website about these biological deserts that we find in our canals along the coast in Florida. And can you explain what these are and how they came to be and how a reef might be a solution?
Well, a canal system like we have here, anywhere, it doesn't matter where they are in Florida, they're man-made and they're designed to help boats come in and out of the area. They do an amazing job of that. They're perfect for that. But they don't flush well with the ocean. That's exchanging water. A lot of them can become stagnant. Over time, all of our little oopses build up on the bottom. And what you get, once you get to kind of 50, 60, 70 years down the road, which is where a lot of places in Florida are now from when they were first developed in the 40s and 50s and 60s, you just kind of you've reached the end of the road. And especially in the summertime when they heat up, you have problems with they stratify, it's called. So you get like no oxygen zones on the bottom. Okay. They're not able to, since they don't exchange well, they have trouble maintaining life. When something like a red tide event comes and it gets blown in here by the wind, it kind of stays in here, right. And you can end up with even the oysters, which are really, really hardy, dying off at times. So yeah, the term biological desert is just kind of you know, if you wanted to get in the water in scuba gear, go along the bottom. You just have a plane of just kind of rotting material and a slow rain of more of it coming down, and sunlight doesn't penetrate. There's no seagrasses anymore. So, you know, we're just kind of at the end of the road of these biologically.
And this is a solution.
Yeah, this helps put a little oasis in the middle of that, a place for the life that is here to come and congregate and reproduce and get a foothold and, you know, have a much better shot at surviving than normally.
I just think it's so amazing that it's an average of 30,000 gallons of water a day per one of these. You know, it's just such a great good works project to be involved in.
Right.
How long does it take one of these mini reefs to become a functioning ecosystem, and how long will one last?
Fish will use it right away. As soon as they're in the water, their structure, so they're going to use it to hide in, that type of thing. Filter feeders, they do reproduce at different times of year, so it does take you a good full year for all the different types of animals in the area to be able to get on the mini reef and start to grow. Some of them only take 90 days to grow up, some can take a year and a half, just depends on who we're talking about, but it takes a good 6 to 9 months on average for them to have enough life on them to be starting to filter that kind of rate of water.
Okay.
It takes a full 3 years for them to go through their full development and have, you know, kind of the final, it's called a climax community, animals on there. They're full grown, they're established, there's nothing replacing them until they die of old age and fall off. The unit itself is made of polypropylene, which is good for 500 years in seawater.
Wow. Before
it disintegrates. We have units on Marco Island that are actually from Sanibel. They were left there when the foundation closed down that I worked at before. And they're now 23 years old.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So I like to say they'll last longer than your dock you're putting them underneath. You're going to have to float them over to the side when you replace your dock, even if it's 30 years from now. But yeah, they're going to be around for a while.
And what a great investment. So, I mean, not only does it filter your water, but so what kind of things will we find in and around these mini reefs? What kind of aquatic life?
Well, we found over 65 species of fish. So this is like your little babies. I mean, they're this big, they're tiny. You know, when they get on, they'll leave much larger than that. But any kind of sport fish you can think of is either growing up on the unit or is attracted to the unit because there's some food source there, like a mangrove snapper that's hanging out underneath hunting as well. Living on the unit, you're going to get obviously oysters, mussels. You're going to get things called sea squirts. People often find on the beaches around here after a storm. They look like a little leathery pouch about the size of your fist. And if you squeeze them, water shoots out. Okay. There's multiple species of those. There's over 400 different types of animals we found, you know, when we've taken these apart in the past and actually examined everything that was on them. You know, a single unit can have up to 150,000 organisms on it. Most of those being very small, but
so for sure, you've got them under your dock. Your fishing is going to get better around your dock.
Yeah, you're going to get you're going to get a food chain because
okay.
you have young animals growing up in the area. Obviously, Mother Nature dictates that not everyone's going to make it. Survival of the fittest. So you get smaller than intermediate and larger fish that are all looking for each other, and eventually dolphins even that are coming along.
Wow.
We have reports of them using our mini reefs that are in a row under a dock to have, at high tide, one will go under, flap its tail so that the units bob to chase all the fish out, and then all their friends come by and get lunch.
Lunch or dinner, I love it. So is this just for salt and brackish water?
This particular unit is. We do have a freshwater unit. There are some places actually in Florida where the mini reef can work in freshwater as far as the filtering part. It will work for growing fish anywhere.
Okay.
It's, you know, because of structure. But there are certain rivers, certain estuary systems in Florida where there are actually freshwater mussels. There's several different species here in Florida that would attach to this. Like there is actually a Lake Okeechobee mussel that could get on this. They're found you know, in the Caloosahatchee River coming down to Fort Myers. So, but predominantly, yeah, salt and brackish water is where we'd want them.
Water. Okay, and are you all just in Florida, or where all is Ocean Habitats doing its good works?
No, we are in 12 different states right now. We're also in the Bahamas.
Oh, wow.
We've had somebody contact us from Puerto Rico that's interested in checking it out. We've had some interest in Central America. So
wonderful.
Kind of expanding quickly.
World, yeah.
Everyone's got the same problem. problem is what
Right.
we found is going on.
Right.
They don't have enough fish or crabs, and the water's dirty, and they're trying to figure out something to do about it. So
To clean it and to restore it and to provide new homes.
yeah, we're trying to be part of that solution.
Wonderful. Okay, lastly, how do we get involved, and who can get involved? Do I need a dock, or do I need a house on the water?
Obviously, if you have a home on the water with a dock,
Right.
you can donate to us to have them installed. We are a nonprofit,
Okay.
So part of it is tax deductible if anybody itemizes anymore. I don't know if anybody even can anymore, but if you're not on the water, again, we are a nonprofit. You can actually donate to us, and we can have units produced in your name and placed, like in marina projects, that type of thing, where we can just add to an existing order where there's plenty of room and get more units in the water, to help us do our mission, which is to help bring coastal waters kind of back to life.
Back to life. Wonderful. Well, that is awesome. David, thank you so much for spending time with us today. This is such an awesome good works project to be involved in, and we're so lucky to have this water, and we all know about the problems we've had over the last year, and this is something that can help with that and getting everything back to how it should be. And if you all aren't thinking about this, Earth Day is right around the corner. It's Monday, the 22nd, the day after Easter, and what a perfect gift to give for Mother's Day. Give one of these reefs. As always, we're going to put the link to their Facebook page in this post and their website. Go on there, learn about the reefs, how you purchase them, give back. If it's not in your budget, then spread the word or share this post and let other people know how to do so. And let's give back to Mother Earth. And thank you so much, David, for being here. I think we're going to actually get to see a little of this in action. So
we're going to get a unit installed here at this home. So these are actually a floating that's on dock pilings. Unit itself, of course, floats. One of the reasons why it floats is why I mentioned the biological desert, as far as sometimes there's no oxygen on the bottom of the dock. This stays above that because it's floating. Helps critters last longer, which is what we want. So then when tides come in and out, or there are storms and there's surge or water pulling out of here, like we just had a couple years ago with Irma, these units basically ride that water level. If all the water's gone, they'll sit on the bottom until it returns. If water gets higher than our heads here, sit underneath the dock and just waiting for levels to go back to normal. And then these little fish here, these are the kind of guys that we're looking to help get larger as they school around
and look for a home.
Yeah, I mean, even the types that maybe would not live in here, it's not their kind of lifestyle. They school in open water. Mm-hmm. They still use it to keep it between themselves and predators. So,
got it.
It can help even those who don't really need it.
Very cool.
Ready? That's what installation. It only takes about 5 minutes. Half the time is just us climbing in and out of the water. So if there's multiple units, when someone's down there, it doesn't take very long to add more. So it's a fairly quick process for people to receive their installation. Once we come by to deliver.
And I think I read that the installation and the delivery is all included in the price online.
Yeah, that's okay. Part of the price, part of the donation you give to get one. And I've been asked, but FDP is who's asked us to, as part of our, trying to be exempt. But as we're putting them in, they're happy because they know one person is doing everything,
and you know what you're doing.
Not worried about like who's doing what.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
But I've had some people ask, I really want to put it in myself. I'm sorry, we can't do that.
Well, that makes sense to me too. Very cool. Well, stay tuned on Nonstop Naples. We are going to be posting for Ocean Habitats every month and keeping you in the know about them and how to get involved. Again, go to their Facebook page, just click on the link, go to their website. It's such a great cause. And like I said, Earth Day is right around the corner, and lots of other good reasons to get involved with this. But thank you so much, David, for being here and helping us understand a little more about this. And thank you all for watching.
Thanks a lot.
Are we done?
Go.